Oh my God, do you know what day it is?
It's Fit Tip
Friday!
Welcome back to another Fit Tip with Sunny and Lauren. We are continuing on with our squats trend. So last week we talked about some accessory movements you can do at home to enhance your squats. This week we are going to give you 10 different variations of squats you can do, body weight, at home. And next week we will enhance them, add some weight, and show you some different ways to load your squats. So Sunny's gonna talk through them, and I will show you what's up.
All right, so Lauren is gonna first demonstrate our basic body weight squat. So feet, you want to stay grounded on this. You wanna make sure your knees aren't collapsing in and going out, going all over the place. Hips are stabilizing so that your knees aren't shifting. Staying tall in the core, we don't wanna be bending over here. Form looks awesome. Thanks. All right, moving on from that, we're gonna take your body weight squat and turn it sumo. So for your sumo stance squat, we're gonna go feet wide, think sumo wrestler, right? So toes out, knees drive wide. This puts a little bit more work on the outer glutes. Get your adductors working a little bit more. Again, staying nice and tall in your core. Can we give them a side profile here also?
Yes.
Again, knees drive wide. Sit down and back into your hips. Nice range of motion there. Looks really good. All right, so from there, we're gonna move on to an offset stance squat. So what does that mean? That means one foot's gonna be slightly in front of the other, one foot slightly back. Sitting back into your hips again, feet stay flat, nice and tall on your torso. And if you do one side, make sure you work the other side. All right, that looks great. So from there, we're gonna switch spots. We're gonna go heel elevated squats. So at home, right now Lauren's standing on two little 5-pound plates. At home, you can use books instead. If you don't have plates, you can put your heels on top of a dumbbell. This is gonna work your quads a little bit more. So it's gonna isolate that area a little more as you're squatting down. If you go a little bit narrower a stance even than we have right now, it'll put a little bit more pressure on the quads there. All right, and again, you can use dumbbells, you can use a towel, books. If you don't have plates, it's fine. All right, moving on from that, we're gonna progress that into a squat to toes. So she's gonna start in a squat stance. From there, as she comes up, she's gonna lift up onto her toes. So it's gonna work the calves a little bit more. Sitting down into her glutes, pressing up into a calf raise. Awesome side profile, good. Nice and tall in your core. Pause at the top, stabilizing your core. It's a little more balance there too. All right, from that, we're gonna go to your overhead squat. So Lauren has a PVC pipe right now. At home, if you don't have a PVC pipe, you can use a broomstick. If you don't have a broomstick, you could just hold your hands overhead. And this is a lot more total body. It's a lot more shoulder stabilization here. It's a lot more mobility. Now, she's awesome form with this. If this is really hard, you can also practice sitting to a bench instead of doing an air squat here. Nice and tall in her core. Again, heels stay flat. Go to a range of motion that you can maintain that form. All right, from there, Lauren, we're gonna go to your split stance squat. So let's get into a split stance. We're gonna have one foot forward, one foot back. Can we step back a little bit so they can see you? Yeah, there you go. Okay. All right, from here, making sure her whole front foot stays flat. She's driving straight down towards the ground. She should feel her glute working on that front leg, her quads doing some work on that back leg. Shoulders are back, squeezing back, staying tall in her core. Make sure you're not rounding those shoulders forward, so abs are always engaged, everything you do. Awesome, looks really good. And again, glutes are engaged. One thing you don't want to see is you don't want that knee diving in and out. So you want, you want glutes to stay engaged so
if
that
it hurts, it's wrong.
so that your knee's not wobbling all over the place. All right, from there we're gonna go rear foot elevated squat. So we're gonna progress that one even a little bit more. From here, driving nice and slow straight towards the ground and back up. So a little more range of motion on that back leg. More work on that glutes on the front leg. Again,
Watch on this too when you get down to the bottom that you don't lose your toe. So you want to make sure your toe stays down, big toe in the front, and that you don't lose your heel. So keep that heel down.
And also another thing, can you stay there for me? Make sure you have even pressure through your whole foot here. So you don't want to have the pressure all on the outside of the foot or all on the inside. So you want to try to stay nice and stable through here. Equal pressure through the ball of your foot, equal pressure through your heel there. All right.
Here's a side profile for you guys.
Oh yeah.
Where's the bench?
Behind the bench. All right. And again, shoulders are squeezing back. And you want to be careful not to arch backwards excessively on this one. That's a little bit easy to do if you're not engaging your core. So you want to think, I usually tell people when they squat down, if you're looking from the side, the angle here should match the angle in your shin. That's usually what you're looking for here. All right. So from there, we're gonna move on to a single leg squat to the bench. So at home, you can use a chair. One leg stance, stand, and sit to the bench. And it's basically your squat on one leg. Make it a little harder. You can just tap the bench and back up and not fully sit. And again, focusing on keeping the glutes engaged so your knee's not wobbling in and out. She's doing an awesome job of that. And again, equal pressure through the whole foot. Careful not to lift your toes, lift your heels. Keep that constant pressure there. And abs always engaged. All right, last squat we have, number 10. We have single leg drop squats off of the step. At home, you can use actual steps like a staircase. You can use that. Here we have a step with risers. So one leg balance on the step. Again, equal pressure through the whole foot. We don't want to be falling to the toes, falling into the heel. Nice and tall in your core. Shoulders are squeezing back. Sit back into your glutes. A light tap on the ground. If you notice, she's not shifting her weight to the bottom leg. Her weight's staying on that top leg. The tap on the ground is just to indicate the height that she's going, so she's consistently going the same range of motion each repetition. Make it harder, higher bench, make it easier, lower bench. You could start, if you have a step with risers, you could start with just the step and then progress to a step with a riser, 2 risers, 3 risers, and so forth.
And remember on this one, when you come down, this is the working leg. So you don't want to push off the floor with this leg. You want to keep all the weight in the leg on the step. And it's going to be very common to see people lift a heel when they come down. Really pay attention that you sit back into it. All right?
All right, so there's your 10 variations. Tune in next week to see how you can load these and progress these variations. Until then, let us know if you have any questions. Reach out if you have any questions about any of the movements we did today, or if there's any topics you want us to cover in the future, hit us up.
Be sure to like it, comment, send us some videos, let us see your form if you want some help perfecting it, new ways to do it, things you can use at home as a step or a overhead positioner or as a heel rising positioner. Just let us know and we can get creative with you.
All right, happy Friday and happy squatting.
Bye. I was like, don't say anything.